It's recording. All right. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the fourth class of Linux Server Administration. And today we're going to be looking at server networking. And when I say server networking, I hope what we did in Windows comes to mind and all those plenty process we have to pass through. But the reason why Linux is easier is that you don't have to do plenty configuration as you did in Windows. All right, so right now I'm going to share my screen so we can roll together. Okay, can we all see my virtual box? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. How many persons are in class? Let me confirm, please.
It's total 9.
All right, so all of us, the remaining 8, you cannot see my virtual box with my virtual machines lined up. All
I can
right,
see.
thank you. So, uh, last class, that was yesterday, we
We can
continued.
see.
Thank you. Last class, we continued with some basics of Linux. Okay, at least are the ones that you will need for a good head start. I showed us how to rename a file, right? I showed us how to append content to a file without having to replace it if you don't want to use any of the editors. So I remember I told us there are 3 editors for Linux. Can anyone remind me these 3 editors? We used one yesterday, and that one we'll be using frequently in class.
You can use Vim, you can use Nano.
Thank you so much, sir. That's it. Right, and then we also revised how to use current directory. Okay, and then I showed us how to switch user, that there are some instructions you cannot do as an ordinary user on the Linux server. Okay, those rights are reserved for the root alone. And I remember I showed us how you can switch to root. When you say SU without any other thing, Linux takes that command as though you are switching to root. Otherwise, you must specify the particular user you want to switch to with that SU. And I said it is inappropriate in production to just be switching to root as you like, because the moment you switch to root, you can do everything and anything on the server. It's just like administrators write in Windows. All right. Coming. Okay, so it's just like administrators write in Windows. The moment you sign in as an administrator, either on your server or on the client system, you have given power to whichever device you signed in on. So I said, don't be quick to switching to root, all right, in production settings. So there are 2 ways you can also do uh, root activities, or you can use root privileges. Either you add that user to a group called wheel. There's a group called wheel. I'll show us as time goes on. From that group, you can you can add a user to that group, and they'll be able to perform some basic root functions. Or you use sudo before any command. Sudo is sudo. Sudo before any command. Now, the first time you will use sudo is going to give you a 3-item information. It's just like it's telling you and encouraging you not to abuse this opportunity. And it will also tell you that, oh, I hope whoever is teaching you or whoever taught you has told you that this pseudo you want to be using is a powerful one. So don't break trust. And ask it is going to ask for password, just one time password. Okay, then you enter your root password, and subsequently when you use the pseudo, it will not request for password again. All these things I've said with mouth, we're going to do it when we get there. Why I have not powered any of our machine is because I want to show us something. All right, so when you want to network servers, you must enable something. Does anyone want to remind us how we networked in Windows? What was the first thing we did?
Enable NAT.
Was it NAT? NAT is for you to connect to outside networks. For if you want the machine.
Host only.
Oh,
Host
thank
only.
you. So there is a LAN Ethernet, which is host only. You have to enable host only on the two servers for them to what? To communicate, to network, to see each other. And I also remember I told us that you cannot enable host only when your machine is running. So this is the reason why I've not powered either of the two servers. I remember I told us yesterday before the class ended that we are going to, if we talk about networking, that means it involves two or more what machines. You cannot network one system. What do you network it? So that's why I had to what clone. See this Item Linux server. I cloned it, and this is the cloned one here. And quickly for refresher sake, is Mrs. Adiola inside in class? No, he is not. Mr. I'm coming. Mr. Demola, good evening, sir. Can you quickly help us how to clone a server? Can you quickly show us how to clone? I want to clone this Item Linux server now.
You got to what you mean now?
Uh,
Go to machine,
okay, machine.
clone.
Thank you. Clone. So this is the name. It has automatically given it a name, clone. But I want to say, let's say it's Internet. Sorry, Item Linux Server 3 because I've cloned one and I name it Server 2. Let's clone this. Let's name it 3. What else do we do? Okay, so I think he's laughing. That means he has tried. Who else wants to take it from here? I want non-IT persons. We learn this thing in Windows. Who wants to continue? Okay, you want me to call names now.
And
And
just
please
go to the MAC
please
address policy.
on my phone.
Thank you. Max address policy. What do I do here?
Then you click on that.
I drop
Then
down.
you can change it to it
Not I
is
can. I have to select generate new MAC
select
addresses
yeah.
for network computers. Somebody made a mistake and was checking this thing, and so it's cloned whatever did not work. Don't do that. Don't check. All right. Don't check anything. Just put the name right. Generate new MAC address for the cloned server, and then you what? You say next. You want a full clone. Then the next thing you say create clone and see what is happening. It is cloning already, but because I already have a clone, I'll discontinue this particular one. So for refresher's sake, I just showed us how to clone a server. So I have two servers, Linux server 1 and Linux server 2, and I want to network the two of them. And we both have agreed, all of us rather, has agreed that we need to enable the host only for servers within the network to communicate. If they need to communicate outside of the network, then we have to enable what? What do we enable?
Nah.
Thank you. Now, so on this Linux now, who wants to show us how to enable host only?
Settings.
Settings.
Network.
Thank you. Network.
The NAT on adapter 1 to host only.
If you want us to drop this to host only,
Yes.
so we can either use this one or we Kukuma come here to
Yeah, we
enable
can
one.
use the second one. So an enable network adapter.
All right, so let's enable network adapter. Then what next?
You click the not attached.
Okay.
Yeah. Host only adapter.
Okay.
Advanced to check the cable.
It's
Okay, it's
connected.
connected.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we press OK down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Please give me some moment, please. I'll be back.
Money no they bring happiness, so now when I get money, I realize so. But I know be hypocrite.
Alice, bá mú tray kan wá. Olé.
Okay. Who misses me? I am back. So, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
We are with you. We are with you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've done that. See our network, we have adapter 1. NAT, we have adapter 2, no host only. Now we have to do for the second server as well.
Sorry. So that means immediately we finish with the first one, we need to clone so that we can be able to go ahead and follow you then, right?
Well, yes. Once you are installed your first server, you can clone it. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So for the second server too, you do the same thing. Setting, network, adapter 2, host only. We check our cable, connected. Okay. Now we can power this machine and wait. All right. Does anybody have any question? We are waiting for the machines to come up. think it's gonna rain tonight. Anybody has any question? Are we in class?
Yes.
Okay, why is the class quiet? Okay, everybody has been muted, I see. Mr. Haron.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm not that fine because I've not been able to download this. The one I have seems is corrupt.
I think
So I have not installed my server.
The same challenge Mr. Said is having. I think the installation files you guys downloaded are corrupt. Yeah. And
I will try downloading a fresh one this night. Or I will take my system to the office tomorrow. Just use Office Network to download it.
Or you have a flash, you download on the flash. You download on the. Okay, maybe just to save your Office.
No.
You can download
to Flash. I can't use Flash to access my system, my Office Network, and the hard drive we're using accessing the Office Network. You can't use it outside the network.
No, I would not even advise you to that.
Maybe I'll just take my system to the office. I will.
Mr. Abafemi, if you can help them to, if your network is okay, if you can share it on the Google Drive, since I'm having problem moving it to my own Google Drive and share, so that maybe they can.
The same issue you have is what I will have to. I will have to first upload it.
You have to upload it before you can
share with you.
Just give me the
if your
link.
network is better. If your network is better than mine.
Don't worry. Just give me the link.
Okay, he said he just want the link. Just give him the link. But it is the same link that I shared in class. So.
I don't know where. Once I click on that link, once I click on that link, it will disappear.
Continue.
Okay.
Which browser are you using?
I was using Chrome.
Which browser are you using?
Chrome.
Try Internet Explorer. The new Edge. Try Edge rather. The new Microsoft Edge.
I have Edge
because it's more robust than Chrome. It's more robust than Chrome because it's based on the same Chromium background, open source background. Because I
will try. I have Edge. I have what was it called? Opera Mini.
Oh, Mozilla.
I have Fire. I have my Mozilla. Yes, I have Mozilla Firefox.
Mozilla
I have like four different browsers.
Okay. So
we can't see this thing again, so.
Sir?
Okay. No, I thought it.
So what I did here, instead of going to applications, system tools, terminal, I just right click and I come to open terminal. Okay. You know, there are many ways you can kill a broad in Linux. Like Mr. Aaron said last class, just ensure you know what you want to achieve. There are many ways to go about it. Okay, so can we do a quick revision of what we learned? Who wants to show me how to switch to the root? How do I switch to root?
Just type
SU to the root. SU to the root.
SU to the root. Enter. That does not exist.
No, just type SU and enter.
Okay, SU and enter. Well, you are my teacher now. You don't know what you tell me that I'm doing.
Put your your root password.
All right. And now we are in what?
In root. In root.
All right. So we can list root. No, we are not in root now. What is happening right now? Can anybody tell me? We are not in root.
We are in root.
We are checking the files and this thing that is in the root.
Oh, okay. So let me
The
remove.
We are
listed
in
directories and the
Okay, so leave that one. Where
we
are
are
we
in
now?
root.
we are in
You are
the root.
inside
Root and local host
inside no
item
no.
Linux.
In local host in ITEL Linux, but everything is inside root.
No. Let's see. It's simple now. We switch the user. We are still in item Linux directory, but as a what? The signed in user
As a root user.
an admin. Until I do this, this is when we are inside the root. So signed in person is root. All right. The directory we are is what? Root. If I return now, we are back into what? item Linux now. This is not item Linux. So what is this? Is anybody here?
Current
We are
directory
here.
also.
Exactly.
That's the current directory.
The home directory of the signed in user. So you now understand when I was explaining that whatever you see here is the what? Is the signed in user. What was here initially? Item Linux. So it means the person signed in is what? Item Linux is signed into the name of our what? Of our server or of our host, into local host. And the directory the person is signed into is this. All right. These are simple interview questions. Right. They will just open your shell prompt for you like this, and they will tell you what's happening here. Who is this person that is signed in? You are seeing it. So the person signed in here is administrator, the root, because this person has switched it. So if I need to switch back to item Linux now, what do I do?
SU ITEL Linux.
SU ITEL Linux.
All right. Did you see this? You know, the last thing when we were here, we used this command to sign into the home of the signed in user. And now when we return to user, it showed us what? Root, which is here. So, but now let's go to our normal. Okay, this thing here now, what does it mean? Where are we now?
The home directory of item.
The home directory of ITEL Linux.
God bless you. So here, where were we here?
Home
directory of the
home directory of root.
Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because in Linux, right, your navigation is one of the core things you need to learn. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated. All right. If you know your navigations properly, okay, there won't be reason of I lost my file, and because it is easy to lose file in Linux. Yes, sir.
The second line, item Linux at local root, yes.
Yes.
Does that mean item Linux is signing in on localhost?
Yes.
But the root of.
But the directory, the folder is inside currently is root. So at this point, anything you do, you are doing it inside the root folder. But when we use this command now, it means that item Linux is signed in currently in the home folder of the signed in user. So whatever we are doing now, we are doing it inside the home folder of item Linux. Look at it. These are home folder where you have your desktop, you have your documents, you have your download, everything we have created. Do you get it, sir?
Can we LL the item Linux root?
This one?
Yes.
That means we have to sign in. We have to go back to root. So let me say CD. We are in root now. So this one here and this one here is the same.
So now we are in root,
yes,
but not sign in as root.
No.
Not sign in as administrator.
Yes.
But as a normal user.
Yes, but we are inside the root folder.
But my belief before is that it's only administrator that can access the root folder.
No, you can access this folder so you can see what is inside. But I'm not sure if you'll be able to do anything. Can we try and create a directory?
You use the root folder when you want to do some administrator work, like maybe make changes to the directories and they install some things or so.
You have to sign in as root.
Yes.
Yes.
That was what I said in the beginning of this class, that there are some privileges you cannot do as an ordinary user. Either you are a root or you use sudo, right? Or that this Titan Linux or whichever user is signed in is added to a group called wheel, WHEL. All right. So we are in right side root folder now, but as Titan Linux. Let's try and create a file. Let's see, maybe it will allow us. Let's title it, make directory file. Did you see this? Cannot create directory file, permission denied, because we are what? A bloody user trying to.
We are Titan Linux as a user.
We are ordinary.
Yes.
You are an ordinary user.
Yes, I am an ordinary user. Thank you. Right. So you see it now. So, like I said, two things you can do now to be able to create this folder. We either switch user, it asks for password. We put our password.
Or type sudo. Abi, if you type sudo, what's the difference between su and sudo? Sir, please.
Okay, so sudo means that instead of switching as to root, let me switch to root. So that I can show you something. You know, root is signed in now, okay? And the directory I am is inside root, isn't it? If I list it, you will see it now. So if I say make directory Ayo, we've used IMD now. Who else is there? We've not created for.
Is Ayodeji now.
Okay, let's do for Ayodeji. 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 So you see, we are able to create Ayodeji inside the root because we are what? An admin, isn't it? Can we remove? Yes. Okay, so let's switch back. All right, we are back now, isn't it? No, we are not back. Oh. We didn't.
We're not back. Oh. You didn't put the username.
All right, so we are back now, but still inside root
folder. We are back, but inside the root folder.
Yes, right now. So let's remove the Ayodeji. Right?
Can we?
See, we cannot.
We cannot.
Because
yes.
So what we can do here is,
because the user doesn't have the right.
He doesn't have the right. So we can either switch to root back or you use sudo. When you use sudo before you command, you are invoking root right. You are invoking visitors right. So let's say sudo remove directory Ayodeji, enter. Remember the three things I ask you, that I say it will tell you. It will now ask you, we trust you have received the usual lecture from the local system administrator. It usually
this one says a lecture.
So these three things. Respect the privacy of others. Think before you type. With great power comes great responsibility, because the moment you are given this sudo right, even
people will write this Linux, they really try though.
Because they know what they are doing. The moment they give you this right now, you can mess up your company and mess up your employment as well. All right. So you will now say sudo password for Titan Linux. So just enter your normal root password. Enter. If there's no error
Yeah.
sign, that means you can now use sudo. So if I go back to use sudo, remove your digi.
Hello?
So it said no such file directory. Let us list. Maybe
It has been removed. We based on that command now
okay.
already.
So based on that
You understand?
command,
It has been
it has
removed
removed
already.
it.
Yes, that's why you asked for the password.
So are we in class now? All of us now get 3 ways you can invoke root command. You switch to root, or you use sudo, or they add you to the group.
The wheel
Group, exactly. Okay, so we are still in root. Can we? So there's this file inside root. It is called your configuration file. That file is etc. This etc. This file is very powerful. Sorry, it's a directory, a folder, not a file. Forgive me, please. Let's enter it. See this folder is a configuration folder. Please don't mess up with this folder. Many things we'll be doing, we are coming into this folder to come and do it. All right, your etc folder. You have a file here called password. If you need to create users, it is inside that password file that you are going to edit and put the user you want to create. Let's look for it. Password. I can't find password.
You passed it.
Need to find password.
You can list it now.
I showed us yesterday. How do you find something?
Yes.
You list it. Pipe.
Yes.
Then you pipe. You grep.
You type the name of prep. Then type the name of it.
Filter.
You can type password. Anything related to password will show.
Exactly. All right. So assuming I know that it is password. Sorry, I don't know that it is password, but I know that it is P that starts that thing.
You list all, and you grep. You type P.
Pipe. Grep.
Grep P.
P.
To list all P's.
So is this useful?
It's not useful because it will show more P's, and it will be more difficult for you to locate what you are looking for.
Exactly. So
what other ways?
Exactly. So let me say that command again, P. I know I'm looking for something, and I know the number of characters that made up that word.
Okay.
PASSWD. How many is that? 6.
6.
Right? So if I can say P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 6? With P.
That's 5.
No,
with the P 6.
P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't it? Enter. See, everything is listed for me. Python is not even there.
Password is more than 6. Password is 8.
No.
No, the word is being written here.
The way it is written is what? PASSWD. Isn't it? Or let's do this. Okay. Can we do pass? Are you getting what I'm showing us? I'm just trying to show us that there are ways to kill a bird. If you don't remember, all right. So I know that what I'm looking for ends with WD, but I don't remember if it is CAS or LAS or whatever. So I can just say, find anything for me that ends with 1, 2, 3, 4 WD. Did you see that? So now let me give us another one. Or I say find it ends with WD or it ends with D, but I don't know the number of character that begins it. Okay, I'll use this sign. Whatever that ends with D, please them for me. Look at Wala. See everything that ends with D. That's not useful now, isn't it? Let's go again. Let's say
WD.
W, exactly. It ends with what? W. Anything that can, whatever, enter. Did you see it? Password. So this is the difference. When you use this sign before or after, what you are saying is, assuming I say, let's look for, I'm coming. Let me clear it. Let me list. We are looking for udev. Look at it. Are we in class? Is everybody listening? Give me feedback. Are we in class?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yeah, we are with you.
Assuming we are looking for udev. Look at this directory. Udev, right? Now, when you say grep for
UD
asterisk V, what you are saying is, I don't care how many characters is before that thing, but the last word of what I'm looking for is V. Do you get? If you do enter now, only udev is the directory that has V ending it. Huh? Let us look for one apart from, see, L ends this one, L ends this one, L ends this one. So let's go and do it for L. Say, find for me either folder or file. I don't know how many started, but I know that it is L that ended that particular thing I'm looking for. Enter. See what has happened. It listed everything that ended with what? L for us. For this one, 3-letter words. But for this one, festival, how many? 1, 2, 3, 7. 7 characters before the L. For this one, how many? 5 characters before the L. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. But there is difference when I say this and L. What this one means is that what I'm looking for is only 2-letter words. So there is one word before the L.
L.
This one is a wildcard. It means that anything at all, I mean, how many characters might be before it, what shall end it is what? L. But if you change it to this, you are saying it's only 2-letter words. If you change it to this, how many letter words?
3.
3-letter words. If you now say this is 3-letter words, Abby, good. What if it is like this? How many letter words?
3.
So what's the difference between this and this?
This is showing that L is the last.
Anything that L is the last word, that one means other ones mean that
the other one, L
is the first letter.
That's not right. You cannot say anything.
That's not the right thing. This signifies that you have 3. The last one, you got that you have 3 letters. That one ends with L.
Uh-huh.
Why the asterisk is telling you?
No,
I'm looking for.
Asterisk now, Mr. Ayo. The way I said that's not right is because you used anything. Whenever you use question mark like this, you are saying that
3-letter word.
There are things here that I don't know.
Not things.
But
there are
the word
2
ends
things.
with L.
Hold on, please. Let me speak. There are 2 things specifically that I don't know. but what I'm looking for ends with L. It might be AAL. All right. So what I'm saying is, I know that it is AAL that ended what I'm looking for. And I know that there are just 2 words before it. Are we getting it now? If I say L, okay, let me look for a 4-letter word. Look at this one now. Tuned. TUNED. Let me say T this UNED. What I'm saying is that I know that this, what I'm looking for, is 5-character word, right? But I don't remember. But I know it is T that started it and ED that ended it. If I enter now, see what it did for me. Something close. All right. It brought this one for me because it is a what? Is a file. Otherwise, you should have returned something that describes exactly what I'm looking for. All right. Another way of looking for TNUD using asterisk will be, give me TUN star. So with this one now, give me TUN, anything that starts with TUN, give me, either it is 4-letter word, 5-letter word, 10-letter word. If you enter now, it returned tuned. Who is confused? Are we in class? Hello? Please speak to me.
Where were you?
So who doesn't understand what we have done now? Okay, so let me say I type H asterisk. Who's going to explain what this means for me? What am I looking for?
Something that starts with H, but you don't know
You don't know the ending.
Exactly.
You don't know what anything that starts with H.
Exactly. So what if I say this?
Something that ends with
Something
H.
that ends with H.
Okay, so what if I
Characters
say
that ends with H.
what if I say this? What does this mean?
Character that ends with NED.
Ends with NED.
For how many letter words?
No,
4-letter.
any amount.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not defined.
Thank you. But what if I say I'm looking for I'm coming. What am I looking for here?
4-letter words that end with
ED.
Thank you. Thank you. So what if I say what am I looking for here?
6-letter words that you don't know what it ends with.
That starts with pass.
Exactly. So continue with your thoughts, Mr. Ayo. 6-letter words that start with what? Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I know that they are just 6 letters, so I don't remember the last 2 words. So I think we are all making sense together now, isn't it? So these are things, these are simple, simple checks that can turn. It's just like when they say you are a science student and then they say you have a master's in, let's say, analytical chemistry. And then they ask you, what is matter? You know, you that you are chewing organic chemistry, you are writing bonds, covalent bonds, all those this and that. And they now ask you, what is matter? If you are not careful, you will cause your village people. Because you are advanced, you know more than that. But they will ask you the basic of things. Matter is anything that has weight and occupies space. It is the basic of things. And you are looking. Do you know that as simple as it is, it has invalidated every other big things that you know because you cannot even answer what is matter. So that's how it is in real life. When you go for interview, they want to know, does he even know the basic things? Because the basic things is where they build the big and complex ones. All right. So these things, they might just give you, these are good alternatives to practical questions. So they put this thing in, you want to do, you are plenty, like let's say 20 of you, they want to take like 7. They give you all these things, they simulate them on paper for you and say, and they put it like this. So what is this person looking for? All right. And this is you that you have been networking heaven and earth on Linux. If you have even let network, you have partitioned heaven. Nigerians that are living where you have a site for them inside heaven. Nigerians that have experienced this about Buhari regime, you have special sites for them. I mean, you are very good in Linux. You know everything, and they are now giving you stuff like this inside the exam, inside simple interview. Like, okay, can you just share with us what's happening here? And you're not able to. It is simple as we just showed us now, right? But as simple as it is, it makes life easy when you are doing something. I just showed you, if you list all the content of Etsy, it's a configuration folder. So please don't mess it up, right? You see plenty things happening. You might be looking for something. See the password folder, the director I say we're going to be using. See your NF config. We are coming into nswitch.conf. We are coming into these things, right? And I just know that, okay, there is a particular file that I need to edit VI so I can do what I want to do next, but I can't remember that file. You have tried search words on Google that can point you. You know it when you see it, but you don't remember the name. Does that happen to anybody? Like, I know it when I see it, but it has skipped my head right now. Okay, and you're there. So Linux has factored it. If you're in that sense, just go to the directory where that file is, list and grep for it, and type something, and you either use specification or you use wildcat to look for it, and you make your life easier. Koba Kaba.
Akane.
Thank you. So yeah, we are in class right now, right? Can we now begin server networking now? Does anybody have questions? Are we good to go? Because I want to ensure that I'm not leaving any stone unturned when it comes to the basics. There are other basics, right? But the basics that are useful for you, I will ensure that you get everything. Even the ones that are not in the curriculum, I ensure that you get it. Okay? And if you don't get it now, when you go back to watch the video, I can assure you that you shall get it. All right. So inside Etsy, let's go to our user client homepage. Here we are. Are there questions, please? The second server, is it up? Okay. Please ask me a question. No, I'm waiting. If there is none, tell me to move ahead. How many are we? 11 persons. No, 10, including me. Or you people have gone to eat. Mr. Ayo. Oh.
We
They're
did,
still regurgitating what you taught us.
Regurgitate quoi? See English. Oh yeah, so do you need me to quickly take that again? Is that what you're saying? But I suppose that thing is not big like that. I just need to show us because I know you will need it. I know you will need it. All right, so let's begin with server networking. Already, we've done the basic things of server networking. If you need to network to servers on a domain, you have to enable their LAT, their LAN area local area network for them to be able to communicate. All right, and then in virtualization, how you do that in virtualization is you go and enable the host only. All right. Then the next thing is you want to check if the IP address, all right, if the IP address of the two machines are on the same what? You guys are now Windows administrators, so please
On the
open
same
another
Same LAN. On the same LAN.
on the same LAN, yeah, but
subnet.
so but what's the word of that subnet on the same? I said there are two parts in a network an IP addressing. What and what part, please?
You have DHCP and static.
No. There are two parts in networking.
Network part
And what?
and user part.
Host part. Host part.
Host part.
So before two machines can see each other, they must be on the same what?
Network part.
Exactly. All right. So how do you check for IP address in a? We did it using our
IP config.
command line. IP what?
Config.
Config. You guys cannot even take job of network administrator. I know I did justice to that. All right. But it did not work. All right. So that means it's not working. So in Linux, instead of IP config, what we use is what? If config.
IF config.
Yeah. If config. All right. Interface configuration. And Vowler, we have plenty things. See our command there, if config, and see the things it listed for us. We can also say IPA, older versions of, is it older or newer version? But if we say IPA, did you see return the same thing? Did I hear Allah now? Yeah, say it loudly now so we can help you to praise the Lord. I mean, you complete it with Allah Akbar. So
I won't talk with that.
So always complete it. All right. So either you say if configure, you say IPA, or you say IP address. It's returned the same thing, isn't it? Or you say IPADD. It still return the same thing.
Oh, Mr. Femi, you already have IP configured on it.
Yes.
Okay.
But did you see it?
Yes.
Oh, you saw it?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
192, waiting, 192.168. So 225, end up waiting. Look at it now.
192.
Yes, look at either 08.
063.
Oh yeah, wait, okay. Come to the second paragraph. The third line, the fourth line.
This one?
No, yes, that's one.
Which other one?
There is another one again.
Okay, so let's
okay, there is another. Look at the one that ended with 225.
Or 255, you mean? This is your net mask now.
No, not that one. Go to okay.
One.
Where you are now.
This is your net mask as well.
No, the next net max 255. Okay.
This one is telling you. This one is telling you that this thing belongs to class A.
That the line is working. That means the network card of this thing is working. That's that 127.0.0.0.1.
Right. So let's move ahead now. So now ENP 0S3 is for your host only. Please be noting it. EMP063 is for your host only. EMP0S8 is for your NAT. Are you following me? This is for your host only. This is for your NAT. And the reason why you're able to see this thing is because we enabled the NAT, and this machine can communicate with internet as long as I have internet here on my system. That's why you are seeing this. Otherwise, the host only here, you cannot see it. You cannot see any IP address here. All right. And the reason why you cannot see the IP address here is because it's not turned on from this point. Okay. So let's do, if config gives us the whole of this thing. Let me clear it because it will look as though nothing happened. If you do if config, it listed all these things for you, right? Let me clear it. So let me do if config. Don't mind I'm fast. So by the time you begin to do this thing, you'll be fast. If config EMP0S3. So what I did here was, don't give me everything, just list for the what? For the host only adapter alone for me. Are you with me, people? Give me feedback.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So now, I cannot see for NAT here. All right, so that means this system and this one, they are not communicating.
Is it because you didn't see for NAT?
Yes, they cannot communicate. So what do we do?
But you actually
not for NAT, for host only. I can see for NAT now. See the one for NAT here.
Based on what you said now, it is what you said that is like confusing.
Oh, sorry. I meant host only. See, this EMP0S3 adapter is for host only. And like we said during Windows class, that host only is the adapter that can allow systems within the network to communicate. NAT, network attached one, is the one that can help you to communicate outside the network, which is with the internet, and which is EMP0S3. But the one of concern, we want these two machines to communicate, is because of this is what we enable them. If I come here, power off this machine and disable host only, you will not see this thing again. All right. So let's move on now. What we want to do now is we turn up our EMP0S3 so we can see the IP address. Okay. We can see IP address here. So if I do internet configuration up, that means put it up for me. Of what? EMP0S3. Can you read for me? What is this saying?
Users cannot control this device.
Because it is a system configuration thing. And I'm signing as what? As Item Linux. That means I don't have the authority.
Yeah. You have to use sudo.
I use sudo or what?
Yes. You log into root. Or to switch user to root user.
Okay, so let's try sudo first. If up, sudo. Sudo is asking me for what? For password.
But it's not asking you all those questions you asked us the other time.
That one, I said it is a one-off thing.
Okay.
So right now, see, connection successfully what?
Activated.
So if I
for sudo, what password do you enter?
My root password now.
Okay, root password works for sudo.
That's what sudo does for you.
Okay.
Instead of going to the root directory,
Instead of
sudo will just
switching to the root and messing with files you're not
Yeah.
supposed to mess with, you will still be signed in as item Linux, but you can use root privileges.
You have administrative privilege.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if I come here now and say if config emp0s3, look at it now. No, there's an error. There's an error. This one is actually
It's supposed to be 192, right?
yes. This is for okay. I get it. The NAT that the attachment we did, you know, we
There is no error.
let me quickly show us something. Look at it here. Settings. Network. Look at it. Here we're supposed to have our what? Our host only first. And then we can use any other thing for
the other one for NAT.
Exactly. But you see, this one
but
is
when I said
out.
no, so when I said no be so, now I keep quiet.
Oh, I didn't hear you when you said no be so. Did anybody hear when you said no be so? Me, I didn't hear. So let's just move ahead now.
I said first one NAT.
But okay. When we did Windows, under Windows, we did not even activate NAT at all now.
And now, because we don't need NAT for the system to see each other, you only need host only.
Yes.
Okay, and your host only is your EMP0S3. But let us move ahead. Okay, so I think this 192 is what we need. This is 119, isn't it? Can we come to the second one here? Have we enabled sudo here? I don't think so. But let's keep working. Let's see what's going to happen. If config. Okay.
Yeah, go.
All right. ENP 192.168.56.120. Do you see the beauty of Linux?
I want to ask a question.
Please ask.
You know, in Windows Server,
yeah,
we define our IP.
Yes.
By either manually assign IP or setting up DHCP.
Yes.
But in Linux, we don't need to do that.
Yes, we don't need to. But I will show you where. Okay, so this is the IP address you're seeing here. It is the one VirtualBox picked for you.
Why will VirtualBox pick class C IP address for you? Because how will you know that you want to use internal? You want to do internal connection as internal network.
So the moment you came here, sorry, to do this, whatever.
Okay.
It's going to pick the one in its own memory, how it was configured. You know, VirtualBox is a program that is running too.
Yes.
All right, but I'm going to show you if you want to, if your networking guys now have different
IP address they want to assign to a particular machine.
Exactly. We are going to show you it. You see it. All right. So can we minimize this too now? Okay. So now I'm even confused. This is Linux server 1, Linux server 2, server 1, server 2. Okay, so when we are done with this, we'll do a quick check. We'll rename our machine. Okay. But can we even rename now? Right. Let's rename our machine so that we will not be confused. Clear. Okay, so this is how to rename this thing that is bearing localhost here. And here is also bearing localhost. We can rename it. coming. Okay, so this is how to rename your machine. You say host name CTL set hyphen host name, then the name you want to give it. This is your
Is it host or auth name?
No, sir, it is host. Thank you for spotting that. All right, you see enter. Okay, that's
you name it. This supposed to be server 2. This one.
is server 2, Abby. Then let's
Yes.
go again and say server 2. All right, we've done that, but it will not take effect except you reboot.
You reboot.
All right, so let's come here and do the same thing. Who wants to help us rename? What's the command?
Host name.
Host name.
CTL. Space host name.
No, set.
Thank you.
Set.
Host set name. If host name.
I'll give you the name.
Space the name.
Right. Enter and what?
Reboot.
Okay. So when we are done that, we'll continue with our okay, so who knows the reason why our EMP0S3 was down? Why did we have to turn it off? I was asking if you knew the reason. You're asking us to dance.
It's another question that I ask you. You are saying why our server EMPSO3?
Yeah. Okay, so let me quickly explain something.
That question is not clear.
Okay, so the question is look at it here. This one is automatically turned on as you installed the machine. Are you getting me? Is what automatically turned on as you installed the machine. It was the second one that we have to go and enable. All right. And what? And turn it on. So what I'm saying is, so that in other situations, okay, let me not use mouth to do that. Let me not use mouth. I'll show us when our system is back up. This one now, this is server. Let me close this. I powered down server 1 to show us something. Server 1 is powered down. Settings. Network. Can we switch? Host only. Not. Let me power this down too. Settings, network, host only, NAT. Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. So let's power them on again. We have done for server 1, we've not done for server 2. Let's go and check. Okay, but the idea behind it is for your ENP0S3, which is your host only, and your EMP0S8, which is your NAT. If at all they are not working, you know what to do. What do?
You turn the.
You switch the adapter.
How do you switch it on?
We'll go to machine. You go to settings, network now. This one that just showed us.
No, you've done that. You've already
Okay,
done that.
IF up.
Exactly. Exactly. This one that we came to do here, it's just like we are doing the virtual part of your physical one that you will go and plug cable to switch.
Then now to go to the interface and put the IP and
exactly. So if you carry LAN cable physically and plug it to your computer, plug it to switch, is it automatic that it will browse?
No.
Exactly. You still have to do one or two things. Okay, so what we came to do here is just the virtual manner.
What happens in a Cisco switch when you plug and you now need to enable the port so that this thing can communicate?
So once this part is up now, we'll finish up. I just want you. Okay, so why I'm doing this is this class is not this class, all my classes. I don't just want you to be clicking and clicking. Understand these things so that in live production, when you face these issues, you will know, okay, you first sit down, you don't just begin to type command as it comes to it. You can at least streamline your troubleshooting. So I have enabled host only. I'm still not able to communicate or to SSH. I've seen that the IP, I'm not able to see the IP address. What do? I go and do if up, turn up that particular adapter. I turn the adapter up, I can now see my IP address. And I realized that their network paths are not the same. So how do you expect somebody
to communicate
to Kafancha?
Somebody going to Aja, enter bus going to Orili.
Exactly, you get. How do you expect the person to see?
You don't get to your destination.
To see the same thing on the road because they're on the same path. All right. So these are the reasons behind what we click. For me, I don't just want to be the person that clicks and clicks and clicks and clicks. No. Even whatever I do, self-study, that's why most times I'm slow when I'm learning. I really want to understand the rationale behind whatever it is
everything
I am doing. Yes. So it's not about the fickle. I just want to be sure, okay, this is, so if I do a thing, I expect what to get. And if I don't get what I expected, I know where to go and check. I don't just begin to shoot in the air and hope it will catch any bird and fall. No. All right.
Yeah, focus.
It says the other time we tried to turn up our EMP0S3, it says that users cannot control this device. All right. That means it was a what? Or it is a what? It means it is a privilege of the admin.
You have to use sudo now.
Yes. This is our server too. This is our 0MP. We cannot see it, right? That means we have not turned it up for this one. Is that it? You cannot do this. Sudo, no. Okay, because it's the first time we are using this thing here, isn't it? So we have successfully turned it on now. So we can now do if config emp0 is 3. See it now. It has listed it for us. Can you see?
Yes, and if you notice, it's assigning it sequentially because the first two that I assigned was 119 and 120. Now he has given this one 121.
I like you. That's Mr. Yo, right?
You said so.
And no wonder you've been waiting for Linux. You're paying very keen attention to these things. Okay, so on our server 1, I tried to do if config.
Yes, I'm back.
Huh?
Said I'm back. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so you're back. Welcome back, sir. Let's do our... Yes. Okay, do you realize what is happening here? When we switched, do you realize you cannot find password on our if config and on our EMP0OS3 here again? Does anybody notice?
Because we've done it once the other time now, have we?
We've done it before.
We restarted.
It's not because of we restarted.
We changed the...
Exactly. We came here.
Configuration settings.
When we powered down, all right? Remember we changed that adapter to host only, and we moved NAT to
we swapped
adapter.
We swapped it.
Exactly, and that's why we are seeing this now. So we have to go turn it up again. If up. Okay, sudo if up.
If up.
Right. So let's check our... Where's the command?
If IP. If if type IF.
Okay.
If configuration, yeah, EMP0.
All right. You see, it has even changed our IP. It was 119.120. All right. So let us be on the same page and let us use the convention. When you are setting up your network, the first adapter should be your what? Should be your
not
no,
your host
your host only. Thank you, sir. It should be your host
second.
Right, then your NAT second.
That one will be NAT.
And you can open ports for special things like maybe printer or fax. You can open ports for them specially. So now look at it. Here we have 192.168.56.121. 192.168.56. Which IP address? Oh, yeah. Which IP class? This IP address, which class are they?
Class C.
Thank you. Are they on the same path?
Yes.
They are the same path.
What's their path?
56.
192.168.56.
Thank you. That's their path, not 56. All right. So let's ping one from here. 192.168.56.121. Did you see that? 192.168.56.120. Is it 120 that is here?
122.
122. You see how sweet Linux is?
Well, yeah, they are communicating.
You see how sweet Linux is? Sir? Yes, sir.
Windows, we manually assigned now.
Yes, that's Linux for you now. Is Mr. Israel in class? Israel, are you in class? Israel, are you in class? Mr. Israel,
no,
I know, but I'm asking.
I think he's Abdurazak something. That's his name. The other time that we were discussing with him, and he was saying, okay, so we were discussing which one is better, Linux server or Windows server. So we agree that Windows server has large market share, and he said something, and we picked our points from what he said, that because easy usage. All right, it's not as though Linux is that, it's just that people are running from command line. All right. But if you know what you are doing, Linux will make your life easier. Look at the two now. What did we do? We didn't even configure. We just if up the two. If I use Control C here, it's going to terminate this. If I use Control C here to terminate this. All right. So this system, the two of them are what? They are communicating. And as simple as it is, you have networked the two systems. Okay. And so when they tell you at interview, can you network two systems? It will look like they're asking for big disk. Can you network two Linux systems? Can you make them see each other? And they just sweep the laptop to you. The first thing, you go and enable your host. When you enable host on the two machines, right? You check your if config to see the IP addresses of the two, if they're on the same network path, right? If they're on the same network path, that is if you see them. If you don't see them, you do if up EMP0S3. All right. EMP0S. Okay, so now let's do something. Let's get something clear. Right. I'm coming. Shabi, we learn. We're learning together.
Something.
Let me just quickly say something. We're learning together. Remember, I said EMP0S3 is your host only, isn't it?
Yes.
That might not particularly be true. Let's back up. Adapter one.
That's what I wanted to ask.
Adapter one is ESP EMP0S3.
You have to check on the when
Adapter
you use the command.
2 is EMP0S8. Are you following me? Because when we were working on server 1, we realized that our IP address for the machines was on EMP0S8. And because we put it on adapter 2, who remembers?
Yes.
What I would just say is you should just first check, because you might not be given a virtual box when you are being given an interview.
Oh,
check with the IF config.
Check with IF
to know the one that
which one is your host only, which one is your
and the one that is not.
Why don't we go and check now? All right. So from here, how do you know which one is host only, which one is not?
The IP address.
Simple.
You know, with the IP address, the classes. Simple. The one that is communicating with the NAT and this thing. NAT is 10 dots.
Well,
Internet.
The IP address also depends on the organization.
Exactly.
If it's a big organization, it might not be using class C.
Omo, I'm proud of these people. See how they are talking like anyway, not like they are actually IT administrator now. So you're right. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to go and manually configure IP address. So assuming they give us a different IP address, Linux has made our life easier and help us to what? Put an IP address. Okay. Now we want to do it such that they have given us, the networking guys says, okay, this is on this IP address that we are hosting this server. So this is the one you will use. You now need to configure it. That means we must statically assign IP address, isn't it? Are we in class together?
Yes, it is.
All right. So there is a file called ifcfg-enp0s3. This file, that's why I said your host only adapter must be on adapter 1. Please, let's get that right. This is EMP0S3. Always use it for your host only adapter, right? Thank you. See this file. It is resident somewhere on this machine. It is this file that we are going to edit for us to be what? To be able to statically or manually assign IP address. Are you following me? So let us go and do that right now. Okay. We are Item Linux signed in into the homepage of Item Linux, isn't it? So let's go to root. That file is inside root. Okay. Let's list root. The file we are looking for is inside etc. So let us enter etc. Okay. Now we have listed etc. The file we are looking for is inside system config folder in etc. Let us go into sysconfig. Now we are inside. Look at it. When we signed inside, when we change directory to root, see what is here. Root. Okay. When we change directory to sys to etc rather, see it carried etc somewhere here. Yeah, etc. And from etc we entered where? Sysconfig. Now we are inside sysconfig. Can we list sysconfig content as well? Inside this sysconfig, there's another directory that is called network script. Maybe I told you that you have to understand navigation properly because
you want to know where you are going to.
Exactly. All right, that's understand that. So this directory is where the file if cfg-emp0s3 is. So we have to change directory to this place as well. Okay. Did you see what I do here? Instead of typing this long thing, I showed you how to copy. Once you right click and drag it as copied, either you press your right mouse or you use the middle. See, when I use the middle button of my mouse, someone said the right mouse if their mouse does not have the middle button. My own mouse has middle button, so I've been using it. Now we are here in what? Network script. If we list the content of this one here, we're going to see plenty if here. That if up that we did, see it here. See plenty if up. So the file we want to edit is ifg. See the file here. We need to edit this file to be able to statically assign IP address. Are we in class?
Hello, please, sorry, I just want something. Is it possible for you, when you are doing the Windows, there is this like a manual, like this thing. Some of these steps now, even though you are not in the video,
Yes.
like probably list it for us so that at least from the IF CFG EMP003 to just have it in the text format. Sorry, that's just my.
Okay, so it's a good request, which because of the nature of Linux, it is possible you have it, but you may not have it until the end of the class. All right.
There's no problem.
Like I said, as you are in class, you concentrate. When you're watching your video, you can make notes. Or even as you are in class, you can be making notes as well. All right.
My network went off when you started. Now I just came back, so I started with the IFC CFG. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I was at.
So let's go back to root. We have left that inside that we have entered, just like Lagos inside one street to another, one street to another. Okay, so let's do this now. We are in root now. Can we go to home page of our signed in? Right, so let us enter the directory that is housing the if cfg-emp0x3. We do see the root, isn't it? This is root now. Etsy. It is inside Etsy, isn't it? Inside Etsy, we entered where? Sysconfig. You must be typing this thing correctly. Inside sysconfig, where did we enter next? We entered network script. Okay, and we said what? Enter. If we list the content, the same thing. See where we are going here. We want to edit this thing. I will take that again. Let us go back to we are back to the home page of our user. See the content now. I said that there's a file we have to edit for us to be able to statically assign IP address to our machine. And the name of that file is ifcfg-emp0s3. Look at the file here. And that file is inside a subfolder of a subfolder of a subfolder of a folder on root. And we first did it one by one. We first moved to root. From root, we entered Etsy. Isn't it? From Etsy, we entered sysconfig.
Configuration.
All right. From sysconfig, we entered network
IP script.
Right. Network script is where we have this thing we want to edit. All right. But for someone that already knows where he's going and knows his way around, from wherever he is, okay, he can do cd root. Sorry, Etsy.
System config.
Network script. This is the folder. This is the directory we are coming to. And if we list the content, this is the folder we need to edit. Okay, so as I clicked on it now, if I say VI, let me type it first so you will understand. VI if CFG EMP 0S3 EMP 0S3. We are now in edit mode, isn't it? Okay, so let me escape here. Column quit bank. All right, so assuming I shall know that it is S3 that ended the file I want to edit, but I don't know the name. I know it is S3. I've forgotten it, and this thing here is plenty. Can someone help me look for it? So let's be applying everything we've been learning. Who wants to help me look for it? Sir?
You use asterisk S3.
I know now.
LL
LL
grep.
That's it.
That's it. No.
What's that thing?
No. What's the name of that assignment thing?
Now here we go sleep today until you tell me the name of that thing.
5P.
Eh?
5P.
What? Pipe. Thank you.
No.
Who is telling me that thing? You are now an IT.
Yeah, that thing.
No, it's not that thing. That thing is different. How can you bring that thing to this class? You know there anywhere. The name is pipe. And I said the function is to
near arrow up or caps lock.
But it's not that thing, it is pipe. What does it help you to do? I told us in last class.
Search now.
No. It helps you to combine two commands.
Okay.
LL is a command to list. But don't only list for me. First list it, right? And filter out something for me. So what do I want to grep now?
IFCFG.
Why do I have to? Okay, that's what you want to do. I'll be IFC
2083.
asterisk. Oh, I like these people. So you either use this one. This one will return. What have you done? IFCFG asterisk. And we're not seeing anything, no.
Asterisk 0 S3.
Before the asterisk. I think before the asterisk.
I should put hyphen
before the asterisk. So you have to
like
put
this.
Now. Yes.
Nothing. No.
Let's do asterisk 0 S3. Yeah.
Like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said the other time.
Yeah, clap for who? Who gave us this thing? Can we let's share choco point? It's in the long be share choco point. Who gave us that one?
Adeyemi.
Mr. Adeyemi, you have one choco point before, so let's add 2 for you. Okay. Mr. Said, 1 choco point. Mr. Tosin, you are still leading with 5 choco points. Wow. All right. So
it should be able to return to us, even if you use if config I said it should return to us now.
Okay, so it didn't return to us, but we find the one that returned to us. What do? We move on now. All right.
Yes.
So what else? Okay, what if we do IF asterisk? If we don't go too far, it didn't return it. So, but I think the important thing is you know how to use this or this, isn't it? Is there anybody that doesn't know how to use wildcat and this? Who doesn't know how to? Everybody knows. Praise God. All right. So
I have a question before I go to file.
Please ask your question.
Okay. In navigating to where the file that we wanted to edit is.
Yes.
Right. Can't you use LL dot root and I've forgotten. I can't really remember, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know, sir.
You used it the first time now. He used it the first time before he now used it one after the other. He went straight into that place first, but just showed us the other way as well. If you should press the arrow down, Mr. Bafemi, can you press the arrow key down?
No,
press
up.
Continue.
Up.
Yes,
yeah. You know, instead of using this one, there's another one we can use that use dot the directory, and it will just dump all this one instead of typing this long.
No, that is not if you are changing that. I told you when that one is valid. I said it is when you want to move
something, or you want to move.
When you want to copy or move something into. So look at this thing as long as it is now. Have you seen it? This is a good way to explain. See this long directory from root to 80
to sysconfig to network script, isn't it? Let me enter. Now we are in this long place now. Let's do LL. Okay, do we have any? Oh, we don't have any folder here. Let me back into sysconfig. Okay, see, look at this. Look at module. Have you seen module here? Module is direct. Is a directory, is a folder. Assuming I want to move this NFS, I want to copy this NFS into modules. All right. What I would do is copy NFS into root first, etc, right? Followed by sysconfig. Are you following me?
That's not sysconfig.
You did config.
Sysconfig. Look at this long thing. Okay. Assuming that this sysconfig that we are now, let's assume that there is another folder before it. Let's say Ade is before this sysconfig and Tola is even before it. Right? Assuming this is the long part where sysconfig is. I want to move this NFS inside sysconfig into modules. This file and this directory, they are in the same directory, in the same folder. All right, so I want to move this into here. Instead of typing this long thing, all right, sysconfig.
Then module.
Sysconfig, then, thank you, module. All right, I would just say, this is the same place I'm coming, no?
Just slash module.
Yes. I'll just do copy NFS. This module is in this same link that I am. This is how to use this thing, please.
Folder.
Have you, that person, have you gotten it now? The person that asked that question, have you gotten it now? Do you now know when to use?
Yeah. It's understood now.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So let's move back into where now? CD network script. All right. LL. This is the one we want to what? Edit. Isn't it? So we do VIENP, no, if CFGEMP0S3. Wow. Do you see what's happening here, people?
No, yes.
What's happening?
The files that were there, they've disappeared. What happened?
No.
As in the configurations right up.
No. No. Look at it critically.
Get to new file.
Thank you. I entered the wrong thing. And instead of telling me it is wrong, he assumed that I want to create this thing and edit it. So he went ahead and create this file and put it in editing mode for me.
Oh,
God. All right, so let me just escape, right? Column bang.
And don't save.
All right, even if I save, now let's go and look around. We will see that it has created that file for us. Let's list it.
Because it did not save it now.
It didn't create, right? Because I didn't save it. Oh yeah, so that's correct. Because I didn't save it, it did not what? It didn't create it. Is anybody confused about what just happened? So this is our right folder. This is, look at what I VI'd, what I edited. I should have put hyphen here if I wanted to edit this. All right. So there are some commands that they will actually not give you error. It will just assume that you know what you are doing. It will go ahead and create that thing for us. So if I edit this now, see what you thought it is gone. It is not gone. It's because I edited the wrong folder. So this is where we are coming from. We are coming to rather. So what you do is you delete everything here and put in a new set of what? A new set of since we want to do what? Since we want to do manual configuration.
The one you are bringing in, where will you?
It is a conventional set of commands. I'll show you.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think I'm using to delete these lines? I told us the second class of this module. What am I using? It will make your life easier. Instead of you using edit and then begin to delete. See, warning is changing a read-only file. Who is reading this? Warning, changing a read-only file. Who wants to tell us what's happening here? Okay, so let's take it one by one. What am I using to delete these things like this? Because it will make your life easier. Instead of using backspace, I told us last class, you're using
D.
Exactly,
D.
I'm using D. Okay. Now, I removed everything. See what I'm doing? Let me save, see, because it is saying read-only file. Oh. Let me try and save, see if it's gonna save. Column, right, quit, and bank. Did you see this? Is anybody seeing this?
Yes.
So, what's the challenge?
You cannot write on this.
Why? Why can't I?
Because it's only
system file.
Is a what?
System file.
God bless you. God bless you. So who has the right to edit the system file?
The root user.
Only the
Excellent.
administrator.
Excellent. So what do I do?
You have to go back.
Yeah, you have to
Go back and log in as root.
as an administrator.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you. So what do I do now? I switch user.
Just
you cannot use sudo.
Just sudo before the VI.
You cannot do that too. It will not allow you. It will still see you as this person. Are you
log in as root?
You have to log in as root. Okay. So to save our time, when you are doing your own, try it. Okay. Try it and tell us. Mr. Yo, I will ask you.
Okay.
All right. So let's go and. Okay. So you see that when I switch user to root, I could only see the commands I used when I was root. You observe that. I'm pressing my up arrow now. I cannot see the command I was using as whatever. All right. So
each person is different.
VI IFG IFCFG -EMP0S3.
That is wrong. CFG.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Wrong.
That person scared me when I heard that is wrong. I say,
it's so wrong.
He won't allow bite me. I'm sorry, I will not do it again. Okay. So ICFG, is this correct?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right. So you see that it's not giving us that this is a read-only file again. All right, we can edit this. 39 minutes. Should we continue?
Yes.
Let's stop here.
Let's finish this IP now. Let's finish the IP.
So let's finish this.
If we do IP here, we'll do IP in the other side though, so they can still communicate.
Yes. So shall we, or we continue next class?
Yes, 5 minutes. 5 minutes we can do.
All right. This is like a batch. No, but this is like a script that you can actually copy, all right, and paste.
Can't we go to Google and just copy this thing and paste it?
All right. Okay. You said we should go to Google and copy it.
I have a template already. Just copy it and paste. That's what we mean.
Oh,
Instead of
okay.
typing it, but yes.
Boot protocol static. The IP address. What do you want to give our IP address? 192.168.110. Isn't it? The net mask. What do we give it? It's not about giving it.
255 now.
Exactly, because it is what? Because it is what?
It's the type
Class
C
C.
IP address.
All right.
It's a type C
IP
address category. Class 6.
All right. So we could have had, we could add gateway here, but I'll show you. I don't want to confuse you. There's a place where I'm going to show you how to add gateway and how to use it. Of course, we know what gateway is for, right? That's you're going. So from here now, this is what we need. Right. So what do we do next?
We'll press I.
No.
Save and quit.
I is if you want to input things. Ready? I. Okay. Escape. Good.
We escape.
But copy this so we can just paste it to the other side. I beg.
I like that person.
Instead of typing.
That is it to help us. So if it will copy, but at least let's try. You might not be able to copy from one machine to another.
Edit. Click on edit. Click on edit. After highlight, you click on edit.
Okay. What next?
Escape.
Escape.
Right.
WQ bank. Enter.
Right. Quit bank.
Wow.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So
let's see if IP config. Then we will see if config.
No, not yet. Okay. You want us to do if config if it has changed, have you? Or let's
yes.
EMP0S3. It has not. All right.
Okay.
So anytime you edit system config, you must restart it and enable it before you begin to get anything.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And how do you do that? System
reboot.
CTL restart. Right. Network. So this is the command. Anytime you edit a system configuration file or a daemon file, we're going to you see us in Linux doing this a lot.
even in DevOps. All right, or because you're going to be using Linux in DevOps, so that is it.
Why they know they use Angel? Why not Demon and they use?
It's because I call it daemon. It is daemon. Daemon. It is daemon actually. DAEMON, not DEMON. So I have done CTL restart network. You can do this, or you do for this particular network service. All right, but this one we do for general. Why this one we do for this particular place we have? So let's stick with network. So we've done restart. The next thing we're gonna do is what? You make that change permanent. How do you do that? Enable. Okay. Say enter. So right now, let's do if config. Did you see this now? Did you see it has changed?
Yes, yes.
All right. You can also know the status of your network with that command. So let me be showing us these things. You can also know the status of a configuration file. Is what? Is active.
Active, yeah.
Yeah. So if we restart it, does that mean we can stop it?
Yes. If we can restart, we can stop.
Exactly. So these are exactly. So these are things you should know as Linux server administrator. You've done everything and you see that your network is not responsive. Come and do the active. The status. Check the status of your network. See if it is even what? Up. All right. So what we did here now is the same thing we're going to come and do for here. So what we've been trying to do is to what? To manually assign static IP address. I know, because I must have typed something. Okay, so where are we going to? You want to go and edit a file? No, but before we do that, let us switch to what? Root, isn't it? We are now in root. Okay, then the next thing is we want to go and edit a file that is in etc. In etc, it is where?
System config.
It is where?
Network IP, static, scripts.
Where it is?
Enter.
No.
Enter.
No.
Enter first now.
You have to state the file.
If what's it called?
If EMPS POS03.
Oh yeah, OT3.
0S3. So I understand when you said enter here, but remember we were not doing change directory. From where I am,
we just want to go and edit straight
immediately because I know the part it is. Are you adding these things together? That's why I said I took time and explained navigation. If you know your navigation properly, you've solved like 50% of your problem. You might not be good to go, but you've solved 50% of your problem in network in Linux. So imagine where I am and look at what I've typed, and that's it. Okay. So I now begin to what? Delete, and I edit. Okay. So that paste did not work. I just try it now. Let's begin to do this. EMP0S3, isn't it? On boot. Yes. Then boot protocol. Boot proto is static. Okay, then our IP address is what? 192.168.100.11. All right, and our net mask is what?
255.255.255.0.
Excellent. I escape, write it,
Right.
quit it, bank. What do we do next?
System, control, restart, network. Then we save it.
Okay, you have to make it permanent.
Yeah.
What do? You enable your network. Okay, and then let's do
IP config.
if config emp0s3, right?
Yes.
11. You seen it?
Yeah.
So can we ping 192.168.100.10?
It's 168.
Can we also ping
192.168.100.11?
Good to go, good to go, good to go.
Good to go, good to go anyway. All right. Have we done justice?
Partially.
Okay, so how do we do it full now?
Go to the next stage.
Okay, so that means for this, at this point now, we have done what? Justice. Okay.
Yeah, justified.
All right. So I bring good news from the